Well, how about this? Let's talk about the Patriots right now because it was very interesting. An unpatriot-like move for them to publicly announce the fact that they are trying to extend Gerard Mayo, their linebacker coach, for a long-term deal. And also, the crazy part about this is when you look at the details there, they specifically said they are going to interview people for their offensive coordinator position next week. Well, that's huge because Belichick would not give the title of OC to anybody this year. And I said that's a problem. No one can be accountable if you have no one at the title because you don't know who's calling the plays, who's making the plays, who's responsible for the offense. We just assumed, and the majority of people assumed that it was all Matt Patricia. And I think we have a quote here, actually. Well, I think we have the press release right now. Here's the press release they're talking about. I'll bring it up so I can read it now specifically. It says, this was released yesterday. The New England Patriots and head coach Bill Belichick have begun contract extension discussions with Gerard Mayo that would keep him with the team long term. In addition, the team will be interviewing for offensive coordinator candidates beginning next week. So that's actually huge because the Patriots.
So I guess that's the end of Matt Patricia then.
Oh, big time. And not only that, actually a couple days ago, when people were ordering their season tickets, there was a letter written by Robert Kraft that was a very odd message. It goes, unfortunately, our season ended sooner than we hoped yesterday afternoon in Buffalo. While we always want to be playing games with playoff implications in Week 18, our expectation was to perform better throughout the season and to advance to the playoffs. We can assure you that no one in our organization is satisfied with the results from the past season. Then it goes on about how they're going to make critical evaluations of all elements of our football operation as we strive to improve and return to the playoffs next year.
That's good. I'm all for all of that. That sounds good to me.
It's very strange, though, because these are messages the Patriots have been sending because they haven't needed to send these messages.
They haven't needed to. Now they feel they do.
And you know what? I think it's crazy because not only are they announcing they're looking for an official OC because they didn't have that last year, and Belichick doesn't like the offensive coordinator title. We don't need titles. That's what he said. There's been there was a report coming out. Well, first of all, I want to say, are you surprised that the Patriots would come out with a public statement like this and how it's worded when they haven't really? It's an unpatriot-like thing to do. Are you surprised at all by this?
Well, I'd say you answered your own question there. You said they haven't needed to in the past.
Right.
I think they are very upset that they didn't make the playoffs. And I think that they recognize that they kind of beat themselves in some of these games.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's part of the reason for the evaluation. And I think it's a good thing to communicate with the fans and tell them what they're going to do, and they take accountability for not making the playoffs, and that they're going to do everything they can to get back to the playoffs.
Right.
I think it's good. I'm all for it.
Well, the offense, as many people, I guarantee you, many people who watch this offense, it was anemic. No one could get it. It was dry. It was dead.
Yeah, well, they were interviewing for a new offensive coordinator.
Yeah, and it's very interesting because there was a report that came out yesterday. Chris Sims of Pro Football Talk, and I believe we have the quote here. Let's bring it up. Here it is. Let's actually do a better screen for it. Here we go. It says, Mac Jones was not happy. He was telling people he wasn't happy. He was calling people about, hey, can you help us with ideas and do stuff like that? From my understanding, Belichick found out all these things. He found out Mac was talking to people and all of this, and there was some back channel conversations going on behind Belichick's back, and I think that's where it did get personal, and this was the Mac Jones-Bailey Zappi situation where Belichick basically benched Mac Jones longer than he needed to, which was largely surprising. So when it comes to, Mac Jones and this offense, Mac Jones asking, people around the NFL for help.
That was, come on. What's he doing that for?
The offense.
It's undermining the coaching staff. He's been doing that. I mean, he did it right openly on the field. I think that those guys don't like that, and I don't blame them. The coaching staff. We've talked about this. I think it's wrong for him. He may wind up getting traded. We'll see. They might get rid of him.
Thing, right? Here's the thing. Mac Jones has gained immense amount of support, not amongst the coaches, because Tom Curran, a writer for Boston, believes that Matt Patricia or Joe Judge were the ones to leak this information. But the players Who Mac Jones
leaked the information that Mac Jones was talking to
all this information, the bad information on Mac Jones. It turns out
leak it to who? Belichick?
The media.
Oh, the media.
Yeah, that this was going on. Belichick found out about this information and made it obvious to Mac Jones that he knew, and so he benched Mac Jones and everything like that. But Greg Bedard of Boston Sports Journal reported that the Patriots players have been very frustrated with the offensive coaching, and Jacoby Myers has showed his immense support for Mac Jones over the course of the season. Kendrick Bourne was not calling the offense of Mac Jones playing badly. He was calling out the coaching. The players have shown while you think it may be childish, the players are gathering around Mac Jones and supporting him. Greg Bedard said on The Spun, Mac has universal support in the locker room. The players on both sides of the ball, especially the offense, realized the position they were in this season. They were not put in a position to succeed. I think it was a problem this year. I think the lack of accountability by the head coach on him putting these players in these positions, specifically how Bill handled the whole Bailey Zappi situation, that did not go over well in the locker room with Mac's teammates. And I think there's an issue there, and I don't think further throwing Mac Jones under the bus is going to help things. I said from the very beginning, no one is taking accountability unless Mac Jones gets angry. Bill Belichick, Matt Patricia, Joe Judge, we're not coming up into the podium saying, we got to coach it better. This situation's not going well for us. We're just having we got to reevaluate the coaching situation. We got to change plays. No one was doing that. They were saying, we got to play better. We got to make the plays that need to be made. We got to throw the ball where, no, it wasn't like that. And countless times, 3rd and 4, 2nd and 4s, there were no one within 10 yards of the sticks there. So that is what I've been saying. And the players agree with me. Because I knew this was not a Mac Jones thing, because we already saw Mac Jones last season do what he did. 3,800 yards. He had, 22 touchdowns. He played really, really well, had better stats, or the same stats as players like Tom Brady, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Matt Stafford. And now we come to this year, Belichick decides, let's bring back an old friend that Matt Stafford was angry to be around. Let's bring back Matt Patricia. Oh, not only that, let's bring back a failure of a head coach and made Daniel Jones look like a CFL quarterback. Let's bring back Joe Judge. Not only that, let's not put him back in his old role of special teams, because that worked out.
I'd say that's probably where he's headed now. After absolutely. They gave 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns in one game.
Yeah.
That was pretty bad.
Let's put him as the quarterback coach for a growing quarterback, one that made Daniel Jones the 26th best quarterback. Let's put him with our second-year quarterback, Mac Jones. And let's put a defensive-minded coordinator, not even coach, because the head coaching stint with the Lions was bad. Let's put a defensive coordinator who hasn't sniffed offensive play calling. Let's put him as our primary offensive play caller. Belichick knew this, and he said before the season, if this goes badly, blame me. Well, people were blaming him. He just wasn't saying, it's my fault.
Well, now he's going out and getting a new offensive coordinator, so I guess he realizes that's a problem.
He ain't. Robert Kraft is. Robert Kraft saying, hey, Belichick, you see what you did last season? No, we're going to change this now.
Well, you don't know that for sure.
They meet it. They had a meeting yesterday, and that's when all this got released. After the meeting between Kraft and Belichick. And Kraft said before their meeting, we can assure you that
I think, didn't Belichick have a press conference before that saying that they were reevaluating everything too? It wasn't just yesterday. Well, a few days ago.
He said we were displeased with our offense.
Yeah.
Really? It was your decision to put a defensive guy as the play. I don't think a single quarterback in the NFL right now, not even Patrick Mahomes, could deal with a defensive coordinator calling his offensive plays. When does that ever happen? When do you have a guy who was on defense for 15 years decide, let's pick up a clipboard and let's call offense, because that works out so well.
Yeah, well, it didn't work out so well.
I don't think a single quarterback could revive what happened this year. Not a single one.
I don't know about that.
You think a quarterback could overcome a defensive guy calling offensive plays
when he was in there?
You know what they played? They played simple. They played very simple. It was very similar to Mac Jones' rookie year, the play calling. And also, we talked about this yesterday. I don't know if I have it still here. They called play action 16% of the snaps. Mac Jones against the Bills, 9 of 9, 93 yards and a touchdown against the Bills on play action. It worked beautifully. And that's what they did, I think, a lot of play action last year. Whatever happened to that? They had a 1,000-yard rusher this year in Ramondre Stevenson. Let's not do play action. That works for a lot of quarterbacks. They did mostly screens. And we saw it countless times. Mac Jones did not play great. I'm going to say that right now. I'm not coming out here and saying Mac Jones was so good. He could have overcome this. No, I don't think I don't think any quarterback can. All I'm saying is, the situation that Mac Jones was put in, where you had situations where it'd be 3rd and 4, and the nearest receiver would be 12 yards down the field. Who would design a play like that?
No. They're making changes.
Yeah, and the question is, who would be the best fit for the Patriots?
I think this thing that came out from Chris Sims is interesting.
Okay.
That there was a rift in there, and I think that was the wrong thing to do by Mac Jones, to be up talking to other teams about the offense. I don't think that's the right thing to do.
Well, who is the players agree with the players are surrounding Mac Jones here. They're not calling out Mac Jones for playing badly or doing it. They're calling out the coaching for putting them in that situation.
Yeah, well,
because
that coaching, they're going to make some coaching changes. We'll see what happens. We'll see what they do about Mac Jones.
Nothing's going to happen to Mac Jones.
Yeah,
nothing.
We'll see.
You know why? Because it's going to be the same situation they were in with Tom Brady. Mac Jones is nowhere near Tom Brady's pedigree.
That's for sure.
But we're talking about who would be the next dude. You would really put Bailey Zappi as your solution?
No, maybe not. Maybe they trade for somebody.
Who?
Well, you see that had Carr up there. Derek Carr? Yeah. You had him on there just a second ago.
The Patriots already...
Where did they say that they were looking... Who said that they were looking at Derek Carr?
No one said they were looking, but the Vegas odds were that Derek Carr...
Potentially, yeah. Well, maybe.
Because the reports coming out that the Patriots are looking at an elite wide receiver and play caller. Those are the two that they're trying to find. And my guess is they're going to get off of Aguilar. They're going to keep Kendrick Bourne, and they're going to sign Jacoby Myers, who's a free agent this year. They're going to sign him to a long-term deal. You're going to keep Mac Jones. You're going to get him a legit wide receiver 1. You're going to keep Devontae Parker. So you have 1 A or A- receiver, and then 2 to 3 B+ to B to B- receivers. You have Ramondre Stevenson, who I think is a B+ running back to A- running back. I don't think he's not quite up to the level of the A's.
He's a great pass catcher out of the backfield.
Well, he got thrown to a lot, but
he's the new James White, the new
very big
Kevin
James
Falk.
White, a very big James White.
Yeah.
But they're focusing a lot on receiver and on play caller, because none of the Patriots receivers can get any sort of separation, and that didn't help Mac Jones at all. And I think DeAndre Hopkins could be a great choice for them. So could I see them going out and getting DeAndre Hopkins? They should. They
might.
Belichick Belichick met with DeAndre Hopkins. I don't know if it was pregame or postgame. I think it was postgame when they played the Cardinals, and they had a nice little discussion. Postgame. So I think that was a little bit of a. I think Belichick sort of knew that the Cardinals may be resetting their situation.
I saw Belichick over talking with Aaron Rodgers too after the Packers game.
They would not do well together. They would not do well.
I don't think so. I would love to see them get DK Metcalf. He would be the receiver I'd love to see.
The Seahawks are never getting off DK.
Probably not.
They will never get off DK.
They'd be stupid to get rid of him. He's very good.
And I'm going to say this. The draft is not their friend on offense.
I thought there's a guy on Ohio State is a good receiver.
Yeah, Ohio State wide receiver. But my guess, if I would say, get rid of that first, get DeAndre Hopkins. That's what I would do. Nelson Aguilar, sign him to a 2-year deal, then trade him away, do a sign and trade like they do in the NBA. Sign and trade.
And just let him go. I don't think he's
they don't get anything in return for that. So you spend a bunch of money.
He's a free agent, isn't he?
Last year of his deal, yeah. So that's why I sign him to a 2-3 year deal, then trade him. If that's even, I don't know if that's allowed.
I don't know who would want him.
I think there'll be a few people. I think Cardinals need another receiver. They're going to get rid of DeAndre Hopkins. But I would say
there's a lot of interesting stuff around the Patriots. We'll be watching it closely.
Yeah, absolutely.